Hi there, this is Dara here from Nurture, and in the past few tutorials I've shown you how to start creating a task using AI on Nurture, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can actually refine your task using AI. So if you're not entirely happy with the output of the AI the first time around, or you just want to be able to maybe edit a task that a colleague has shared with you, everything I'm about to show you here is relevant no matter how you created that task, okay? So what can we actually edit with AI on these tasks? Okay, so you'll notice there's a couple of buttons here for edit with AI. You've got one here on the task questions field. You've got one here on the success criteria field right here. And you have another one on the marking scheme. Now this is provided you actually generated a marking scheme in the first place with AI. For this tutorial, I already have generated a marking scheme. So at the moment, those are the three things you can edit with AI, okay? Everything else is, pretty small things that you can kind of manually adjust, whether that is the maximum marks or obviously anything to do with assigning to students, due dates, anything like that. It's not necessarily something that we would use AI to edit with, of course. So, I'll just talk through briefly how each of these work overall, and then I'll actually dive into specific examples, okay? So with each of these, when I open this edit with AI field, what's going to open is this, essentially this pop-up where I've got my content on the left and I've got a chat on the right, okay? So in this case, I'm editing the task questions and only the task questions here. And on the right, I have a chat interface that I can ask the Nurture Assistant for whatever change that I want, okay? We also give you a bunch of quick options here just to get that chat started. You don't have to use them. You can just type whatever response you want in here and it will make that change, whether that is on the task questions or on the success criteria or the marking scheme. So to show you what I mean, if I open up the success criteria to edit those with AI, I'm only editing those success criteria. Same thing if it's the marking scheme, I'm only editing the marking scheme, okay? So what does that actually look like? So I got all of my task questions here, and maybe I just think the language is a little bit too complex. So I'll just ask it to simplify the language here. What this will do in the background is it'll just analyze the questions and it should reword them in a simpler manner for my students. Now it'll take a few seconds just to think about what it's doing. Before you even, request the change, you can change the amount of time it spends thinking. So at the moment, I've got it set to a thinking response because I generally feel it gives a better output. But if you set this to a faster response, it should respond a little bit quicker, but it may not be as high of a quality output. So I'm just going to wait for it to complete here. And what's going to happen is it's going to update here on the left-hand side, and it's just going to confirm with us in the chat that it has done that. And after a few seconds, it has gone through the questions and just simplified the language for those students, but it hasn't actually changed any of the specific questions, okay? Once I'm happy with the questions, I'll just click save and close, and that will close me out of the actual the AI. And next thing, if I want to edit the success criteria, it works the exact same. So if I click edit with AI, I could ask it for anything I want here. But we have a couple of quick options that we do provide you, like reword outcome 2, reduce it down to 4 outcomes. In that case, you could just simply delete them, reorder the outcomes, add one more outcome, maybe use stronger verbs, add an outcome on using evidence. In this case, I'm just going to request it to make the outcomes simpler. Then after a few seconds, it has reworded the success criteria to be a little bit simpler. And if I'm happy with that, I can also preview them here and I can see exactly what they will look like to the students. But I can just save and close these here, okay? The final thing then for refining with AI is the marking scheme. Now, by default, we don't generate a marking scheme when you create a task. It's something that you generate afterwards. And another tip I just want to give you is that if you change the questions in here after you have created a marking scheme, I would recommend that you go in, remove it, and generate it again. The reason being is you might have added an extra question that the marking scheme has not factored in, and then your marking scheme, which ultimately informs the grading later on, may end up grading students incorrectly. So I would always leave the marking scheme until the very end in terms of generating it before you actually assign it to your students, okay? Now, while it's generating the background, one thing I do want to point out is our marking scheme generator by default will generate a really specific detail marking scheme. Sometimes I find it's almost too detailed for the use case. In something like this here, where maybe you have quite a lot of different questions, a detailed one is something that maybe you do want, okay? But if it's something that you wanted a little bit simpler, I'm going to show you how you can make it a little bit simpler. With the marking scheme, whenever you generate it, it will always factor in the maximum marks you have in here and whatever questions you have above here in your questions field. So however many questions you have here, plus however many maximum marks you have here, it's going to split them up according to that maximum marks. So this marking scheme that is generated here is going up to 100 marks, okay? So we can see here for question 7, it's given a total of 50 marks. And for question 8, again, total of 50 marks, and it's split that up per question, okay? And as I mentioned, by default, the marking scheme we generate can be quite detailed. It will go through partial marks for certain attempts. There is quite a lot of detail involved in here, okay? If it's too detailed, you can edit it. So I'll just open up edit with AI. Now, you could ask it to add exemplar answers, and that will add those to the marking scheme. Which will help tighten it up a little bit further. But in my case, I'm just going to say I don't want partial marks per question. This should be a simpler marking scheme. What that's going to do in the background is it is going to just reword this marking scheme, and hopefully it should just take out the partial marks and some of this marking acceptance criteria. And we can see here, after it has done its thinking and adjusted it, we can see here that for each question it's just giving straight marks for the correct answer, and it's just a little bit more simpler. If you find that there's a little bit too much involved in this here, you can still request it to trim it down a little bit further. But what I do want to call out as well with the marking scheme is that by default this is obviously hidden from the students. Now you can show it to the students if you want. Obviously if there is actual answers in there, then you wouldn't want to show it to them. But all that this does later on is when you're actually grading, it will grade according to this marking scheme. So even though it is really detailed in what we generate, we do that on purpose so that later on when you're grading, it hopefully gives you a really specific, really well graded structure for every single student, okay? Now, that is overall, that's how you edit anything with AI or refine any part of your assessment with AI. There's a lot of other things you could obviously do here manually. Like you could just manually add another success criteria or delete success criteria. I could add more supporting material here later if I want to. I can make any manual adjustments I want to the questions. And in a following tutorial, I will talk through about assigning your due dates and scheduling. But in the next tutorial, the main thing I want to cover is this feedback settings piece, okay? It's something that you should set up prior to assigning to students. I'm not going to cover it here because I think it needs a tutorial on its own. So check that out in the next tutorial, and after that, I'm going to talk through assigning due dates, scheduling, and saving as draft. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us, and I will see you in the next tutorial.